Hello and welcome to another Monday dumbbell workout. This week we're going to switch it up. We were doing the combination build up stuff the last couple of weeks, so we're going to move back to supersets. So the way this is going to work, you choose your own reps. We have four groups. So first group is chest press and bicep curls. So we're going to do one set of each. Then go back to chest presses, do set two of the bicep curls, and then finish off with set three of each of those before we move on. So that's how it's going to kind of work. So without further ado, let's get into our warm up. So if you can find yourself a wall, we're going to do some leg swings. So let's get our hips open, start to shake them out, and switching sides. Stretching our quads and hamstrings. Good. Let's do some agility skaters now. So going side to side, high knees, getting the heart rate up, getting some footwork going. A few more seconds. Good. Let's get on the ground now. T position, hands out, and then have your right leg come towards your left hand, and then switch sides. So we're just going back and forth, getting our spine loosened. Good. And let's get up and go into butt kicks. So we'll just start with a march. Now we can go into a jog. And go into a run if you can. If you see from the side, I'm really trying to pull my heels into my butt each time. Good. And let's do some arm circles now. So start small. Slowly get bigger till we get to full. Whatever that may be for you, palms up. Let's go in reverse now. Get to your full rotations and hold them. Good. And let's get into our punch combo. So jab, cross, hook, 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 jab, cross, hook. Switching sides. Jab, cross, hook, 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 and relax. All right, so let's get ourselves a bench and we'll get into the workout itself. So chest presses. Grab yourself a set of dumbbells. Lie back on your bench. Wrists over top of the elbows. Exhale, extend, come back down, and go through your reps. So I'm going to do 10, like always. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 seconds before we get into the bicep curls. So I'm going to grab a different set of weights a little bit later for the bicep curls because I have that available to me. Standing tall, keeping the elbows in, full extend, hinge up, back down, hinge up, back down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we got a little bit of rest before we go into round 2 here. So with the chest press, when we go down, try and stay at chest height. So your hands should stay at chest height. Don't let your elbows flare up too high. And don't have them tucked in too much either. So it's kind of right there. And then when you press up, they stay at chest height. So again, a lot of people end up around shoulder height. So try and work on that this time. Let's get going into round 2. It's back. Start at chest height, extend, come back down. Find your pace. If you go a bit slower, you'll build more muscle. You'll fatigue the muscle out a bit more. If you go faster, you build a bit more power. So if you decide to go fast, though, what you need to focus on is still being able to control the dumbbells and go and keep your technique proper. So make sure you're working on that. If you end up going a bit faster, if you go nice and slow, you're going to do a bit of muscle build here. So bicep curls, let's get going. So if I go nice and slow like this, I'm really going to fatigue out the muscle a lot more. I can make these 20 pounds get very, very heavy if I go slow, right? If I want to build power, then I try and speed up my movement, but I have to keep my technique correct, so I'm keeping my elbows tucked in here. One more. Good. So finish off your reps, and then we'll go into round 2, or round 3. So we got 15 seconds rest before we get going. 5, get yourself in position, and go. So this time I'm going to focus on my breath. So I come down, breathe in, exhale, breathe out. Now I can even time my reps with my breathing now. So if I want to slow down, I'm going to take a nice slow inhale and then fast exhale powers me up. It all depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? We can modify this however we want, and it all depends on what dumbbells you have available to yourself too. All right, we're going into our 3rd round of our bicep curls. So standing nice and tall, curl, back down, curl, back down, curl, back down. Inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. I'm gonna put my bicep dumbbells back, keeping my chest press ones out for the next round here. When we go into goblet squats and hip thrusters. So we'll only need one dumbbell for this, or I'll only need one dumbbell. If you only have lighter dumbbells, and maybe you hold one in each hand. So goblet squat, we're going to be about hip width apart here, holding the dumbbell up around our chin. Now we're going to drop down, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs, push up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one's a hip thruster. So we're going to use our bench. If you don't have a bench, you can just do it from the ground instead. Just like with the chest press, you can always do them from the ground if you don't have a bench. So there's a couple ways of doing this. I usually sit on the ground here, get the weight on my hip, lean against the bench, and then get myself up like that. So I'm in a bridge, and then I'm going to lower my hips to the ground, squeeze, lift up, squeeze, lift up. So it's just like a glute bridge. Here we just have the dumbbell to add a little bit of resistance, and we have our shoulders elevated off the ground. 9, 10. And drop the weight to the side. Wiggle myself back onto the bench, and I can rest. So with a squat, it's very quad dominated, using your calves, using your glutes a little bit as well. When we go into a hip thruster, it's mainly glutes and hamstrings, so it's a little bit different in terms of the muscle groups. So let's get into round 2 here. So that's what I mean by opposites. So we're working lower body for both rounds, but we're working opposite sides of the lower body as if we go through. So it just gives them a little bit of rest and keeps ourselves balanced. So if you found it hard to get up, if you're starting from the ground, I'll show you another way to get into your hip thruster for round 2. So you can start in a seated position, catching our breath. So you're going to put it onto your hip and then just slide yourself down until you're in a position where your shoulders are on the bench. Then drop down, squeeze, drop down, squeeze. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Off to the side. Wiggle my way up. Can take a seat for a quick while, and then we go into our round 3 of our goblet squat. So this time I'll show you a side profile so you can see the back. I focused on it in a lot of our videos, so I hope you're aware of it. Get ready and go. So drop, back seat straight, push up. Back seat straight, push up. So while I'm going down, my weight's not on my toes, it's not on my heels. It's equal between. So it's nice and even, not rocking back, not rocking forward, or else you collapse like that. I'll do a couple more. So drop, see that back posture, then coming up. So that's what we want to strive towards. You might not get the depth that I did, but what you can do is just stop a little early. So maybe you only get into a half squat, and if you go any further, you get that, that's fine. That's your limit. So I'll work within it. 5 seconds, then we'll go into our last round of hip thrusters. So I'm going to start from the up position, get myself into position here, get the dumbbell on my hip, and drop, extend, drop, extend. and off to the side. Good. So we're going to do dumbbell rows, bent over rows, and tricep kickbacks next. So you're going to need a heavier weight for the rows and a lighter weight for the kickbacks. I'll face the camera for the first round here. So we're going to get going in 10 seconds with our row. And we're going to try and do both sides in the minute. So nice flat back, pull the elbow up, drive it to the ceiling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And I'm going to grab a lighter set of weights for me. So 10 pounds is about all I need for the tricep kickbacks. So 5, 7, 8, 10, maybe 12 max. It's a harder exercise. So what we're going to do is hinge like that, and then open your door hinge, close your door hinge. So don't let your elbow drop. Let's get same position, elbow high, kick back, come in. Kick back, come in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Switching sides. Same thing. Keep the elbow high. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we got a little rest before we go into round 2 of these. So when we do the row, make sure you have a nice flat back. Keep your head down, looking just slightly forward. That'll keep the back nice and flat. And then make sure you contract your abs every time. So let's get going. So pull up, contract the abs. Contract, pull. Contract, pull. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switching sides. Same thing. Little rest, then we'll get into kickbacks. Catch our breath, maybe a quick drink of water if you have one nearby. Get yourself into position, ready, and go. So kicking back, keeping the elbow high, don't let it sink. As you get tired, keep the back nice and straight. Same principles apply. Keep your head slightly forward. And I gotta switch sides. Same thing on the opposite side. Looking at the camera is a bit too much for me, so I really need to just look just ahead of my bench here. And if you don't have a bench, you can use a coffee table, you can use a couch, you can use a desk, whatever you have nearby, just to lean on and get yourself forward. Good. I'm going to give you a side profile for the last rounds here. So get ready and into your row. So nice flat back I have here, and then pulling. Switching sides, same thing, nice flat back. Notice my positioning here. I have my knee right underneath my hip. So if I lean forward a bit, that's about it. And then my hands right underneath my shoulder. It's kind of an awkward place on the bench, so I kind of sometimes will go a bit ahead of it just to get out of the crack there. All right. And kickbacks. Same back posture. Now kicking back. See how my elbow stays high. I'm pretty fatigued with this one, so it's going to be hard to get all my reps in a good posture. I find that one really challenging if you do it right. Key is just to not let that elbow drop at all. Then you can really focus on the triceps. 9 and 10. And we'll put our weights away. Put bench away. I'm going to use the same weights for the rows for the next exercise, the deadlifts. So grab your weights, stand nice and tall, hinge forward, keep the dumbbells along your shins, squeeze, lift, drop, squeeze, lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And calf raises are next. I can use the same weights for both. If you need to adjust. If you're able to adjust. So for calf raises, hold the weights in your hands, feet shoulder width apart, up onto your toes, slow down, up high, slow down, up high, control down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shaking out. My arm's a little tired from that last one. So let's get ourselves in position for our last 2 rounds. So with the deadlift, make sure you're hinging, push your butt back a little bit, maybe a little knee bend. Then when you get to the bottom position, contract your abs and drive straight up. All right, let's get going. So I'm going to start from the down position this time, so knees are nice and bent. Pull, 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 pull. Notice how my back stays flat. Hopefully it stays flat. Get a drink of water. We got about 25 seconds before we go for the calf raises. So if the calf raises are a bit too easy, or if you have something around, you can get your toes elevated. So you can use like a stair. You elevate your toes and you can go up like that. It gives you a little bit of a bigger range of motion. I'm just doing them from the flat ground because I don't have a stair in front of the camera. And we got 1 more round of each, then we'll finish with a cool down. So 30 seconds before we get going on our last round of deadlifts. So again, I'm just kind of shaking out, stretching out my legs a little bit, my ankles, just trying to stay loose till the dead air. So let's work on our breathing this time. So we'll start from the down position, grab your dumbbells, exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Great job, everyone. Finish off your reps if you haven't already. Shake out. Then we got calf raises. Then we'll stretch. Deadlifts make me yawn. It's not because I'm bored. 3, 2, 1, and go. So let's get into our calf raises. So one modification you can make if you want, you can have your toes pointed out. That's just going to get the outside of your calf a bit more. And then if you want to do your last 5 reps, you can do toes pointed together. And that'll just get the inside of your calf a bit more, and some of those smaller muscles that run down through your feet that get neglected and need to be worked on if you're a runner. And that's it for me. Finish off your reps. And then find your mat. And we'll finish with our cool down in a few seconds here. So starting with the downward dog. Start in a push-up position. Hinge your hips up and back. Bring that downward V. Bend your knees if you need to flatten your back a bit more like I need to. And you can even pump out your calves if you want. Get a little bit of an extra bonus calf stretch in. And into lizard, so half kneel, hands on the inside, lean forward. You can try and get your elbows down. I can't. And switching sides. And now you're going to get your leg in a 90 position. Hinge forward on your elbows if you can, or you can stay tall in your pigeon. Depends on what's in your practice. And switching sides. Cobra is next. So we'll let our hips sink into the ground, look towards the sky. Every time you breathe out, let your hips just sink a little bit further. Good. Back into that half kneel position, hands on the inside. And then we're going to open up into our world's greatest. And switching sides. Good. and finish off with child's pose. So head into the mat, reach your fingertips forward, butt into your heels. Just breathe nice and deep, nice and slow. And that's it. You survived another dumbbell workout. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the rest of our classes this week. If you haven't joined our resilience program and you'd like to do that, then go onto my well site and sign up for it in the My Challenges section. It's a great program to build your uh, resilience and be able to deal with life's challenges. And we all have them. So take advantage of it. See our other classes, and of course, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube channel. See you next time.